Hi, this morning we are starting with the next 5 problems on page 205, if you can follow me, 205. And the title for this set of problems is Inflammatory Diseases of the Central Nervous System. So we're going to give you a little explanation of the general way of solving all of these 5 problems, and then day after day we're going to solve each of them exactly following the path of how to get to the answer. So let's start with the title. The title is here, Inflammatory Diseases of the Central Nervous System. Inflammatory is almost the same as infectious diseases. And what it means is this. This is the central nervous system. The brain and the spinal cord. That's the central nervous system. The peripheral nervous system are the nerves that are away from these two. Like you see these strands of nerves, those would be the peripheral nervous system. The central one is just the brain and the spinal cord. And now, what is an inflammatory disease or an infectious disease? That is when this bug, you see this bug here, right here? This bug from somewhere comes here somehow and gets into the spinal cord or into the brain and causes a disease, right? That is what it means with infectious diseases or inflammatory diseases to the central nervous system. So we have to take into account that there's a bug here, could be a virus or bacteria, and there's the central nervous system affected. Okay, so the 3 ways to solve this problem are: there is one code for both for the bug and the infection. The second way is first we code the bug and then the infection, and the third way is first we code the infection and then the bug. Okay, so let me give you these 3 examples. In first place, the disease of the nervous system is found in from G00 to G09. Okay, so the first one that we have, if Nelly can open the first page to B37.5, if you can follow here, B37.5 would be this one, candidal meningitis. Okay, so the meningitis is the infection and the candidal is the bug, right? And these two need only one code. If you look around it, there's no instructions to put an additional code. So that's why we have here a combination code. This is called a combination code, which means that the bug and the cause of the bug, the disease, are called with just one code, right? That's one way. Now, the next way to solve it is that this is the bug and this is the infection. And if you open to the second one, it's right here. For instance, we have poliovirus encephalitis, and if we go to the G0503, where's G0503? Right here, right? G05, right? Now, what you see here, it says code first underlying disease, right? So this is the code for the part that affects the central nervous system, and this is the underlying disease or the bug that caused the problem, right? In this case, encephalitis is this, and the virus is this here. So you code the virus first, and then the encephalitis, right? Now, the third one is the opposite of this. Can you open to the third one? In this case, for instance, we have, let's see, we have Staphylococcus aureus meningitis, which would be G003, right here. You see? Staphylococcus meningitis, right? And now it says use additional code, which means that after you coded the meningitis here, they want you to use an additional code. That's why it goes afterwards. It doesn't go before, but afterwards, because in the instruction says to use an additional code. Okay? So, summary. These next 5 examples are diseases of the central nervous system, which is the brain right here, and the spinal cord. And the reason is that this bug right here, where's this bug? You see the bug? There, right there. The bug comes here and gets into the central nervous system somehow. So we have to code the bug and the infection of the nervous system, right? And the way we do it is in 3 ways. Using one code that represents both the bug and the infection, 2 codes, which is first the bug and then the infection, and the third way is first the infection, then the bug, okay? Now, how do you know which is the infection and which is the bug? There is one simple trick. Just look for the ending of itis, which means inflammation, right? And now, it could be meningitis, encephalitis, or myelitis. And if you look here, this is the same central nervous system here. And this one, for instance, is a meningitis right here. The meninges is the border of all the central nervous system. So you see here that it's inflamed, just the border. That's meningitis, right? The second one is encephalitis, which is the brain, right? And the brain now is red, so the brain is inflamed. And this was meningoencephalitis, which means the meninges and the brain inside are both inflamed, right? So that is the trick to know which one is the inflammation. All right? So whenever you see the problem, first look for the word that ends in itis. It could be meningitis, it could be encephalitis. Look for that code. And that code will tell you whether it is a combination code, a dual code 1, or a dual code 2. Because if it's a combination code, there's no more instructions to do an additional code. If it's a dual code 1, it'll tell you code first this. So you have to code the bug first. And if it's a dual 2, it says use additional code. So the bug goes afterwards. So that's the way you solve the next 5 problems.